In your own time.
This is our treatment presentation by myself and Lunn.
So, our presentation, well, intro is called Darkness Within. We chose Darkness Within because it just relates to teenagers having their dark side when something can occur, like something fatal, such as a family member dying, which is our plot, which you will learn about later on. But this title also just has a tense and dark aroma around it.
This is our mood board. The mood board allows us to see our potential ideas that we might go down the route of. So with the forest and people stood under street lights and stuff, it builds a atmosphere of tensity and
So our plan and plot. So our plan for our intro is to show the POV and the background of our killer in his happy moments before he turned dark. So then there's the obviously traumatic event, which will be a family member dying. Then afterwards, him turning dark, going into a depression, and then murdering someone, which is the whole point. How we intend to present social groups and character types. So the killer will show a montage of happy clips to just show his happy background, and our killer will also be a teenager because our target audience is 16 and above, so more relatable to all of us lot. And then our victim will be a boy also because our victim's getting stabbed, which is quite relatable to the world right now because there's a lot of teenage boy deaths from getting stabbed.
This is a breakdown of our sequence of shots that we intend to film. We start by fading in into the establishing shot, a long shot of the house. Then we slowly cut into a montage of the shots of the killer's background, and then we cut into a scene of the killer being happy. Then we fade into a black screen with a change in music being more intensified to bring a change in the atmosphere of the whole project. Then we show an emotional shot of the killer, and then after that it's the start of the villain arc in a way. So it's the slow change of him as a person. The killer then gets a letter. Then the killer stalks the victim because the letter relates to the killing, and then the killer kills the victim, and then we'll have the credits of the production and the people involved, etc.
Some references of our chosen genre and how we intend to establish it. So obviously horror, lighting, low-key lighting, darkness, shadows, all relates just to make the killer look more scary, mysterious, eerie vibe. Our locations, so where we're going to shoot will obviously be at night time because that's when we can only get that sort of darkness that we need. We're going to use camera angles from low, like a worm shot, to make our killer to look more dominant and bigger, whereas our victim will probably use a bird's eye view shot or just higher up shots to make him look smaller, more vulnerable. And then music, obviously with music you have pianos, violins, so we'll take something out of that, create something together to obviously make that eerie vibe. And then also we use a musical stab in there because that will help us change the dynamic of how the killer is seen. The tone, mood and atmosphere we're trying to create, obviously horror, so we want it dingy, creepy and dark mood, low-key lighting again, violin, piano. Also with our music, at the start it's going to be very upbeat, and then we're going to use a musical stab to change the dynamic of how the killer's seen, and then as the music gets on we'll make it more intense. Our target audience, I said before, probably about 15 to 25, just because it's easier for us, it's more relatable. To get our intro out, we would use social media as it's easier, wide range of people to get to, and not in the newspaper obviously because we don't use newspapers anymore.
This is like the locations we intend to use and like the time frame we intend to shoot in. We intend on shooting like a lonely location because this creates a sense of like abandonment for like the victim and like how they're isolated and alone, and it like helps create like a separated atmosphere from other things. These locations can consist of the woods, an empty car park, or a dimly lit path in the middle of the night. We intend on filming majority of our project at night to create a horror to help like go with our like horror themed project. Our inspiration from other films. So our movie intro is inspired by a few different films. Firstly, in 2017 there was a film called It released. As we want to, and we're gonna like help. We're gonna use the film It to like relate to ours because as we want to portray our victim in the same way as it, because there's Georgie in it. A young character is presented as innocent and submissive, using a range of different shots to make him look small in the film. We want to combine both films with the Money Heist layout introduction. They use an array of shots which put into a montage to tell a quick introduction. Batman is also a film of inspiration for our intro, as the killer was an innocent person before his mother and father dies, and then it all starts to go downhill. Yeah. Thank you for listening.
Any questions for the pair? Alfie?
I was going to ask, how do you plan to convey the death? Is it going to be like shown, or is it just going to be implied through other means?
No, the death will be shown, just because it's just easier to show, and that implying it makes it quite difficult.
And in the sequence that you sort of set out, there's quite a lot of things happening. There are lots of stuff that you want to show. How can you ensure that that's all going to be able to be done effectively within the 2 minutes time
Well, it's
frame?
going to be, obviously, clips will be quite short, using a montage so we can just skip through everything we really want to, and then, yeah, we'll be able to show it.
Okay.